Josh Hudson by the Hudson River. Doing a little switching up today. Instead of being home, just came out, filmed some videos. As you can see, that's Manhattan on the other side, and that is a cruise ship about to go out. That's pretty cool. I've never seen that here before. Anyways, let's get right into it. This video, I'm going to be talking about basically where crypto is going to be by the end of 2018. There's a lot of speculation, a lot of people saying that it's going to bubble before then. Bitcoin's going to get to like 15,000, 20,000, 25,000, then it's going to bubble straight down. So far, we've seen a huge crash, but the technology still remains. It's still being adopted. It's still being used. So why do you think it's going to go away? If you look at fundamentals, any bubble of any past that's shot up around even 1,000% in a year, which Bitcoin is highly surpassed, any bubble that's done that, they've usually died and you haven't heard of it from then. So what makes this one different? And I have a video where I go into bubbles and why Bitcoin is different from any of those bubbles. But 2018, I think, is the year where we're going to see massive cryptocurrency adoption. 2017, everyone was starting to learn about it, starting to invest in it, and people were thinking it's going to go away in 2018, and it's like, no, we just got here. We're not even below we're kind of below 1% adoption if you think about it. The adoption rate is super low. All you have is highly technical people that know how to set up wallets, know how to buy from exchanges, know how to trade. Traders, programmers like myself, and cryptographers, computer science people, like these are the people that are starting to adopt it. That's a very small percentage of the population. So it's 1% adoption, probably even less. Now that still leaves room for corporations, banks, governments, the real estate industry, any industry you can think of that wants to learn about this. There's certification that's just been published, Bitcoin certification, if you can get that. All these certifications going out, and people think it's going to fail this year, and I don't see that. That doesn't make any sense to me, because all they can see is the speculation behind the market. And I get it, it's really a speculative asset, right? The way you can raise funds for tokens and utility coins like that, it's never been done before. No one's done it. And there's securities out there, but then again, some of these tokens have actual use and utility, but they can also be a speculative asset, which is kind of complex and hard to regulate. That's why it's the wild, wild west out there. But how is that going to go away anytime soon just because people speculate on it and the price crashes? That doesn't mean it's not going to be adopted, guys. Distributed ledger technology, if you haven't read up on it, please do. Having databases in multiple places all around the world is how things are going to be done. It's just the future. You can't have these centralized forms of database management anymore. It's just not going to work. It's just not efficient. So in 2018, once all this price storm stuff goes away, people find the courage to actually start investing again, then it's something that's going to be pretty relevant on. But even so, the technology is there behind it. Read up on distributed ledgers. That's going to be the thing to go. And all these architectures are coming out. Hash tree, blockchain, hash graph, and companies and governments are finding new ways to do this. And guess what? Now, I know Venezuela's ICO that recently just came out as kind of a scam, but countries like that are going to find ways to use this technology to send funds to other countries so they don't have to get in trouble by the EU or any like multi-country regulating authority. They can just send stuff to any other country and not having to worry about restrictions being placed on their economy. That's what the petro is, although I personally think it's a horrible idea. It's going to backfire. People are going to find use cases for it. And if you talk about blockchain and say that there are no use cases for it, then I don't know, that's tough. That's really tough to say how it's not going to be adopted. I mean, it's right there in front of us for us to see. Now, I know there's a lot of trouble with scaling, but that's going to be solved, guys. Scaling is always trouble with any new technology that comes out. Making it ready for mass adoption, that's always a problem. We always know there's going to be support there, and there's going to be people who make it work. It happens every time. Number one problem is adoption. And that's the big question you have to ask yourself when looking at this industry. Will it be adopted? And I personally think yeah. So I don't see why not. So I'd love to know what you guys think. Found this helpful, insightful, please hit that like button and subscribe. Curious to know, because I only know so much about the space. There's a lot of people that know way more about me, and there's even people that know less, but I learned so much more from them than I do people that do know more, believe me. Because if you're educating or teaching anyone, you find the gaps in your own knowledge and what you don't know, and you're not going to know everything. You're not going to have all the right facts. And I try, as much as I do my best to get that, there's always someone. That's why it's good to have multiple people to fact check, because your source of information isn't always going to be the best. So thanks guys, Josh out, we talk crypto.